Here's part 2 now. Okay. For those of you at home, I apologize. The recorder froze up, so now we're on part 2 of the same discussion. So we're on 55. I'm not sure how far the first video got us to. Okay, so 55, 8 pi over 3. Okay, now you don't see 8 pi over 3 written on your unit circle anywhere. You don't, okay? Any idea? We're going to use a unit circle though. Okay, any idea what we're going to do? 8 pi over 3? What did we do previously? What?
4 pi over 3?
What about 4 pi over 3? You're going to look at that one? I don't know. No, not 4 pi over 3. What do we normally do? If I asked you to graph this angle, remember in the last worksheet if you had to graph that angle, what do we do with 8 pi over 3? Okay, or what you could do is, if it's an improper fraction, make it a mixed number. Okay, so 3 goes into 8, 2, with 2 left over, 2 2/3 pi. So where are we going to look at? 2 2/3 pi is all the way around, and then where?
120.
2/3 pi, 120 degrees, okay? So you're going to look at, now, one more thing. If you're going to write these all out, if I was going to actually write the angle out, or true or false, we're going to look at 2 pi over 3. Is that what we're going to look at our unit circle, 2 pi over 3, or not? That's what Jonathan just said. Yeah, we're going to look at 2/3 pi, okay? Should I write down the sign of 2 2/3 pi, or the sign of 2/3 pi, or neither? We should write the sign of what they asked for. They asked for what? They didn't ask for 2/3 pi, or 2 2/3 pi. They asked for 8/3 pi. That's what you really should write, okay? But either way, I'll just put sine, cosine, tangent. And 2/3 pi, it's 120 degrees, so the sine is, what is that, 120, what's that, radical 3 over 2?
Yeah.
Sine is radical 3 over 2. Cosine is negative 1/2. Tangent is negative radical 3. And I'm not bragging here, I'm just pointing something out. If a student's sitting there going, man, how does he have these so memorized? I don't have the unit circle memorized. I really, really understand it. Really, I mean, I've been teaching this for 25 years, 26 years. Okay, you've been learning it for 3 weeks. Okay, just if you know it well enough, they just come to you real easy. So cotangent, secant, and cosecant. Easiest one is secant. If you flip negative half, you're at negative 2. Tangent's next easiest. If you flip radical 3, it's negative radical 3 over 3. And flip sine, flip 2 over radical 3, or flip radical 3 over 2, you have 2 over radical 3, which is the same as 2 radical 3 over 3. Okay. We're going to do 2 more and then we're going to stop for today. Also, if you want, I'm just curious, well, let's do these last 2 questions and I'll ask you this other question here. So we're on number 57. Yeah, 57. 57, we have 105 degrees. Again, you don't have 405 degrees written on your unit circle, but you're going to use your unit circle. Where are you going to look? For 405 degrees.
45.
How'd you get 45?
Because the full circle is 360 and you got 405, so it's another 45.
You got to go 45 more. It's all the way around, and then another 45 degrees. So you're going to look at 45 degrees. So again, I want the sine. Now I want to make sure you understand. Am I going to ask you for the sine of 45? Are you going to tell me the sine of 45 degrees or the sine of 405 degrees? Okay, but what's bigger, the sine of 45 degrees or the sine of 405 degrees? They're the same. You're going to get the same answer, okay? You're going to get the same answer, okay? So the sine of 45 degrees is radical 2 over 2. Cosine is also radical 2 over 2. Tangent's 1. This one's an easy one. Cotangent, secant, and cosecant. Flip 1, it stays 1. Flip radical 2 over 2, it's radical 2. Cosecant's the same thing. Last one, and then I want to talk about one other thing, and then we'll stop. Negative pi over 6. Sine, cosine, tangent. Cotangent, secant, and cosecant. you don't have negative pi over 6 written anywhere on the unit circle, okay? But you do have pi over 6. Pi over 6 is right here. There's pi over 6. So describe negative pi over 6. Where would that be? Same amount, same distance other way. So it's going to be, here's negative pi over 6, and it's not written negative pi over 6. It's written as what? 11 pi over 6, or 330 degrees, either way, okay? So you're going to look there. The sign is, was that positive half? No, it's not. Negative radical 3 over 2. How did I know it wasn't positive anything? One word. There's no way the sign here is positive. There's no way it can be positive. I heard somebody say it. Down. Okay? Down. That's not even right. Isn't it negative half?
Yeah.
Yep. I start bragging about knowing the unit circle. What do I do? Screw up. Should I shut my mouth?
He's testing this.
Could cosine? No, I screwed that one up. Is cosine negative?
No.
Why? One word. It's to the right. It's positive radical 3 over 2. Tangent's negative because these are opposite signs. And it's what? Negative radical 3 over 3? So cotangent would be negative radical 3. Cosecant would be negative 2. I did that one next because it was the easiest. And if you flip radical 3 over 2, you have 2 over radical 3, which is 2 radical 3 over 3. Any questions on these? Okay, so here's what the plan is this, just so you know. We're going to skip. I told you to cross off everything after number 92. We crossed off 93 on down. Actually, did I tell you to cross off 91? Did I tell you to cross off 91 and 92 also or not? You can if you want. Cross off 91 and 92 if you want. So we're only going to go as far as number 90, okay? But we're not going to, I will do this if somebody can answer why. We might, hopefully we do, cancel off all of 67 through 82. Don't do it yet though. It's up to you guys if we're going to cross off 67 through 82. Why did, shoot, they tell you. They tell you right in the instructions. It says use a calculator. If I asked you the sine of 30 degrees, how would you find the sine of 30 degrees? You look at the unit circle. But the sine of 28 degrees, your unit circle doesn't help, okay? You would have to use a calculator, okay? See how well you listened the first day of school, literally the first day of school. Why do you think we're going to cross off 67 through 82? You can't use my calculators because they're dirty and they have the virus on them or whatever else. So we can't use calculators, okay? I mean, and those are easy problems. You literally type them in and say, bam, here it is, okay? But we're going to cross off 67 through 80. We're not even going to do those, okay? So what the plan is this. We still have not another 20 minutes or so, not quite 20 minutes in class. We're probably only going to spend one more day. I'm only going to spend one more day with you guys on this assignment. We're going to finish up 61, 63, and 65, and then we got to do 83 through 89 also. And those are a little tricky, okay? And then we'll do that on Thursday. Then Friday will probably be a work day, and we'll probably start a new worksheet on Monday, okay? And probably have a homework quiz over this on Monday, probably. Tuesday at the latest, probably Monday, okay? So what I'm getting at is this. You got about 20 minutes. If you think, man, these are going to take a while, you can use this time to work, because you're only going to have one day, probably Friday, to work on this in class. And then you have tomorrow, Wednesday, you could work on it. So, I mean, whatever you want to do, but plan on having a new assignment probably on Monday, okay? All right. The rest of the time's yours, guys.